To give a warm welcome to Jorge Forero, the director of Violencia. If you have questions, don't be shy to ask. Please, if I may ask you to maybe stand up so we see that you have something to say. And then we have two lovely ladies who will come and assist you with a microphone so everybody can hear the question. Thank you. And we also welcome Nelson, one of the main actors. So please give me a warm welcome. Nelson Camayo. So whenever you have a question, please stand up. In the meantime, maybe Jorge, you can explain how you came up with the idea and the project to begin with.
Hi, thanks for still stay here. The idea became to me one night when I was with Diana, my producer, and we started to feel tired about the violence in Colombia, about the common daily violence, the way we treat each other in my country, the way we treat our family, our friends, our neighbor, the taxi driver, the man from the store. But this idea started 5 years ago, and we decided to shoot this film with a little crew, with some friends, and we made several films during these 5 years, and we never did violence. Until one day we are exhausted about the violence with the guerrilla, the paramilitary, and the army in Colombia. And right now in Colombia is being a process of a peace process with the guerrilla, and we thought that was very pertinent, the film right now, because the country is very polarized. Everybody thinks that has the right, that his idea is better than the idea of the other one, and we are in some crisis between us. So that's how the idea came to us.
Do we have a first question? Then maybe we could go into, so it is directed at a Colombian background, because it could be, of course, projected onto something universal, as also the perpetrator is always faceless. It's just the idea that it might be a Colombian force. Did you have a universal picture in mind, or is it really to shake up a Colombian audience and say, this is our environment, look at it?
We started to develop this project 5 years ago, as I told you, and when I was at the Amiens Film Festival, the jury asked me if I think this is an universal story, and what I said, and I still think that, is that I don't care so much, because what I want to tell is the story of my country for my people. And in that path, the story became more universal, according what I heard right now in this festival, because it's the first time the film has been seen by some audience. So for me it was very shocking. I thought that nobody goes to understand the film outside from Colombia. So I'm enjoying really the kind of connection the film makes with the audience.
Thank you. So we have a question over there. The gentleman, please.
Yes, hello. It was a great film, thanks. I was just wondering, well, you commented on it now, but how was it received back home in Colombia? And also, if you, I was sitting all the way in the back, and with my glasses, even with my glasses I don't see very well. So I was not sure if the boy in sort of the story number 2, was he returning in this among the youths in this training camp, or was he actually shot? when he was abducted?
He was actually shot by the army.
Okay, thanks.
Question over there.
Hello, thank you for the movie. I wonder if there's any personal background to one of these stories you have. Is there any personal experience you put into the stories?
Not in a close way. I think most of the Colombian people has some relative who's the cousin of the cousin of the friend of the friend of the friend who has been in some kind of this situation. But for me, was not in my very close family. So it's interesting your question because that was the starting point. As nobody in my family has been kidnapped or killed or something like that, or been in some kind of group, paramilitary or guerrilla, I stopped to care about the other ones, and I start to talk with the people around me, and everybody only cares about his own family, and all the other people are just number statistics, are a bunch of dead people, and at the end nobody cares because it's not touching personally his situation. So that's why I felt that I was very wrong, and I started a process to forgive myself for this situation. And I think what I want in the film is create some kind of empathy with the other human being and see the victim and the victimary also as a person, a complex person, not just some role or some kind of model, you know. So this kind of empathy was the starting point to doing the film.
And there was another question over there.
Yeah. Basically, I had like two questions. First of all, why they killed the two young boys, and also another question: what were you saying right now? That to me, I have to say that it was completely the opposite feeling. I had the feeling that those victims are just numbers. I didn't know anything about them, and they just died. And I was about to ask why did you choose to not tell us something more about them? Why are they dying?
I think that the characters are archetypes, are not John, Pedro, Juan. They are not just one person. They are archetypes of all the kidnapped, all the paramilitaries, all the boys that have been murdered by the army in Colombia. So that's why I decided to make the film this way, without names in they, just like they are numbers. And it's interesting because from your point of view, they are just statistics, and that's what's happening in Colombia. They are just statistics, not human beings. And I think it's a very interesting point because that's when you start to thinking if it's your personal opinion and if you feel right with that kind of thinking, or if you want to change that kind of stuff. Yes, but everybody has his own reaction for the film, and I think it's very interesting that the film makes that question to you. And the second story is because the army in Colombia, in one point, start to killing young boys from humble neighborhoods to kill them and present them as guerrilla combats died in the confrontation, because in that way they won money or vacations or things like that. So it was very cruel because the army, the guerrilla, and the paramilitaries start to kill all the communities, just like a business.
So we have more questions, but I saw you raising your hand first.
Regarding episode 2, the army commander, I